On Yaar Mera superstar is Aishwarya Rai Bachchan.
Sweet baby.
Do you remember the first time she said "Ma"?
Now only you've got this. She said ma 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 ma. It's just the sweetest thing ever. They had picked up this tunglak and she totally loves this little move. Keep watching my dear friend Garima's Garma Garam.
Yaar Mera superstar.
She's a pleasure. She's fun to talk to and she's a sweetheart.
Yaar Mera superstar. With me, Garima Kumar. Oh my God, I've been waiting so long to say this, that on Yaar Mera superstar is Aishwarya Rai Bachchan.
Sweet baby. You've been trying to make this happen for a while.
I
So
know,
I'm glad.
I know.
I'm glad.
It's been so long. I think the last I met you, Ash, was before Aradhya came into your life. Was before so much happened in your life. Baap re.
Oh my God, yeah. Time flies. Huh? It's flying, flying, flying. Oof.
Flying, flying, flying. And how is it? How have you been? What's happening?
A lot, evidently. Multitasking on another level. You're meeting me now in by far the most blissed out phase of my life. With Aradhya in my life, it's just all the way. And I couldn't ask for more. And yeah. You're just going to see me gloat. So
I know, I can see the glow and the smile is not going. I'm missing her. I mean, I would love you to have had her also here. But how are you managing away from her now? Are you enjoying this also at the same time? It is bliss, but then work is keeping you away now.
I plan it. So it's all planned and worked out. And otherwise, well, one wouldn't be able to get back to work. I don't think any lady would want to get back to work if it means time away from her child. And it's not easy for any working woman. But it's empowering, I think, also to for your child to recognize and embrace the fact that you are a working individual. There is a career, there is a profession that you work in, whatever your vocation be. And I've talked to her about it since infancy. I mean, even if it meant I'm going for a little ad, I would always tell her where I'm going and I'm going to work and when I'd come back, and way before she would even be obviously responsive to it. But I think one registers it, and I believe in that. I believe in that about a human spirit, about a human child, a human being. And that's what I've done all along. And today, it's a natural way of life for her. I mean, at the same time, when it comes to me, I'm not, I have intensive periods, like extremely intense when it comes to work, and then I kind of spread it out. So it's all planned. I mean, even today I've gone and dropped her to school and all and come. So I plan my days, it's all there. Even in the working of the film, I work it out. So far with Jazba and with Sarbjit and with Ae Dil Hai Mushkil, I was able to conditionally work it out, where if it means a role requires prep time to get ready, I'll wake up really early and start that, and then I'll still do the drop off and prepping her and taking her to school, and then come and then reach a location during which you've saved on the getting ready time and still get to work. So you plan it all and you work it out, and so far doable, great. Thank you for the professionals I'm working with. Everyone's been lovely.
But it's amazing because Ash, aapko to you can get any kind of help that you want, But still, I think you are a complete hands-on mom. Na? You don't want to miss out on dropping her to
I've become a
school.
mother. Obviously, I want to experience motherhood. I mean, why would I want to just delegate everything and leave it be? I haven't just brought a child into this world. Ki bas janam di ho gaya.
Because lots of them do that. A lot of people.
I'm not being judgmental. Whatever reasons people may choose to do. Sometimes it may be compulsion. Sometimes it may be choice. And it's each to them their own. But when it comes to me, I definitely have enjoyed, I'm blissed out experiencing every minute of it. And it's lovely. The various stages, you kind of everything that you're talking to, first even a baby or an infant, I've been communicating throughout, and you suddenly see that becoming the person, and suddenly you see those same responses, you hear those sentences, and you realize when and where you've said it, and it's suddenly right there, and it's amazing. It's just so beautiful, and so, I mean, this is bliss, this is joy, this is life, this is the joy of life, and I wouldn't trade it for anything.
Did you remember the first time she said "Ma" to you?
Of course. And the first time it happens, you get very emotional, and then you're like, is it just a phonetic thing? Like, sachmuch, she said, ma ki ma 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 ma. You know, like you're trying to focus on that, and it's lovely, yaar. It's just beautiful. It's
Like
beautiful.
my mom, what she did amazing is that she had documented everything I did, like my first step, or like the first thing I drew, or the first. So it's all there.
Yeah, we're all doing that, and the drawings are so many because you want to keep them all. So constantly you're writing the तारीख लिख रहे हैं, दिन लिख रहे हैं और रख रहे हैं. अभी वो बढ़ता जा रहा है, इतने सारे drawings हैं, and all these days when I've been in media work, she's been doing the sweetest thing. Okay, so now only you've got this. So these days I'm doing media work. She said, Mama, I want to tell you something. I made a card for you. Surprise! It's just the sweetest thing ever. And then Mother's Day came in between all this, during which also wonderfully the most beautiful card has been made. And then you're seeing her now because obviously one is writing, one is learning words. So one will write, love you so much. And all. And oh my God, that feels like the best thing ever in life, in the world. Is nothing can trade that feeling, and these are just the most precious pieces. I mean, I keep saying probably all the walls will get adorned with it, and ghar shayad kam hoga for the amount of drawings and cards that she's wonderfully made, and each one is precious. Yeah,
she's
very
an
very
artist,
precious.
huh?
She's always been, actually, in the sense, she's always been creatively inclined. Even as an infant, I saw her first react to patterns and colors more than कई बच्चे होते हैं who go for the jewelry and the bling. Initially, it was always the patterns and the colors. Those were the first things, even that she mentioned. There were colors. She's so there is a lot of creative interest and creativity, which is nice.
So, how similar is she to you as a child?
माँ से पूछ रहे तो हम तो कहेंगे, of course.
What does your mom tell you?
My mom says sometimes she sees it and she says, my God, just like you. So I mean, I see it in her smile, I see it in mom's eyes, I see it when mom and dad sometimes will share a look. You see it, and sometimes I can see it too, because you'll recount an episode that maybe your mom and my parents have told me, and suddenly when I'll see like a small thing, like उस दिन एक छोटी सी चोट लगी थी, so. And mom used to always tell me that I used to say bloods came. When I was small, I used to say, Mommy, there was so much bloods. When I was very small, because I started chattering at the age of 2, apparently I was very talkative. I was talkative even before Aradhya was talkative in terms of timeline. Okay. And very talkative. So, and I had said that it was an old family joke, but I let it be. Recently, when choti si chot lagi thi Aradhya ko, and she said, there was so much blood, Doda. She told mom. She calls mom Doda and Tulu. And we just looked at each other and we cracked up, because now that's not been dictated. Where did she say bloods from? And the way she said it, it was so simple. She wanted to obviously exaggerate and make it bigger. And it just made us smile in a strange situation, but it made you smile. It was a small nick, but still, to use that word. There are lots of little things like that, the way one will express, the way one will take to dancing and music and all of that. So you just smile and say mini me and kind of get on with it, and it's lovely.
So bloods came. Abhi jab Aradhya Sarbjit dekhi.
Let's talk about other things also. The dancing and all is also there.
Achha.
Very, very cutely. She's picked up this tunglak and she totally loves this little move. Yeah. Totally loves this little move. It's very cute.
So cute. Now when she sees Sarbjit and it's got blood in it, tab to bloods she will probably...
That too I don't know now. I don't know about her watching this movie. Actually, I've never sat her down to watch full movies. She's not really watched movies. No, she knows.
She's a star, and if she goes
out... I know
out...
that. She knows that this is a wonderful world with a lot of love.
But she doesn't get confused when you're being snapped at, like paparazzi is on you.
वो भी जन्म से देखा है. जन्म से she's experienced it. We say it. I mean, she's seen it, like I said, since birth.
Exactly.
I traveled a lot, and I always, till date, I have her with me. So she's seen lovely members of the media. Thank you, Ji. And she's seen you all, and she sees us getting photographed. I've never discussed it with her, not made a big moment out of it, but I'm sure in a way she believes this kind of goes with the turf. At times, when she started talking, she did say, like, what are they doing? Like, we would come out of the house when she started using her words, and I'd say, they're taking pictures, they're taking photographs of us, and they love us, and we love them, and people are waving, so you say, okay, wave back, so you reciprocate the love. So I'm sure, wonderfully, I hope, and she should believe that this is a wonderful world, and there's a lot of love in this world, and people are loving, people are just expressing that, and we reciprocate it, and she does that.
Yeah, because doesn't just happen with you, it happens to every member of your family. For her, she must be like, ye kya hai?
Yeah, so I don't. So luckily, it's not like. I mean, I've not seen her getting thrown by it,
Nice.
which is nice. I mean, initially, I know she would stare at the flash bulbs, I'm sure, for the eyes. If hame hi kabhi when there is a lot,
Correct.
it takes you a second. That's a natural. So that's why, as an infant or a baby, I was naturally protective. It wasn't that I was covering her face, bhaiya ji. It was more like about the flashes, and you're just naturally, instinctively protective about all that. You don't want a child to get alarmed or to wonder what this is. And interestingly, for the longest time, she's also a little camera shy. Actually,
She is?
she has been. It's now decently changing.
Yeah, because I think she's like very
changing
happy.
and changed, but initially, yeah, she has been. She has been.
What would be the top 2 chapters or top
You
2
can't
things?
put it into 2 hours. आजकल चले 2-2.5 घंटे से ज़्यादा नहीं होगा. Sorry, it's very difficult to put into a time frame like this.
Yaar Mera Superstar with me, Garima Kumar.
When I see Sarbjit and I see you in it, I the first couldn't recognize you. I was like, oh my god, that's Ash. And I remember I messaged you saying I couldn't recognize it. It's
Yes.
phenomenal. I'm loving it.
Thank you.
So,
Thank you for your message. It was really, really sweet after
It
the
was
trailer.
heartfelt because
Thank you.
it's something that you look at and you just want to tell you that, whatever it is, what phenomenal performance. And I think that's the most angry also I've seen you on screen, I mean, angry and so, like, I don't know, oof, I don't even know what to say to it.
Thank
So, so somewhere you think, is that the most angry you've ever been on screen? I mean,
Yeah, I think the most angry I've ever been at all. That kind of expression of passion and anger, it's come from some core and some soul that you probably haven't even, by God's grace, felt the need to let out, or you haven't let out by choice. It's 23 years of a struggle, Garima. I mean, as a sibling, it's a different level of commitment and I can't use the words. You can't call it a challenge. You can't call it a struggle alone. It was life altering. And incidentally, the last thing she said to him in there, just as brother sister fighting, कि हाँ तू बस जा, तेरी तो मतलब तू बाढ़ में जा. She just said that way. It's मस्ती में जो एक दूसरे को बोल रहे थे. और अगले दिन वो मतलब घर वापस आया ही नहीं. It's just who would dream something like this can possibly happen. And took her 18 years to see him. 18 years where she wouldn't know whether he would remain alive, wouldn't, and yet you can't dream of going from today to tomorrow.
Correct.
And for 18 years to keep going, to keep trying to just get a visa to go across to see your brother. And to also at the same time take the family members across.
Correct.
And to give him hope, to let him know that, she's not leaving any stone unturned to try and bring him back, to try and reach the highest corridors that any person could possibly reach, to make the impossible possible, to bring him back. If there was a death sentence, to try and reverse that decision, to try and work at it and to not lose hope. I'm sure she was broken so many times. I'm sure her spirit, she just felt crushed so many times, but still she kept going. That's a human spirit that needs to be recognized and saluted, and give a lot of people hope.
Right.
The reason for making this film is not just for people to experience this story, but also to believe,
Correct.
to hope, to feel your relationships, to give your relationships all, to value your relationships, to have the hope keep you going, to know that, today you all exist, the media exists, and that opportunity is there.
Yeah.
So, access it. Do what you need to do, and there are people there to help you reach, to have your voices heard. And this lady did everything, and our lives touched each other 10 years ago, knowingly, unknowingly, by virtue of me being celebrity. She had started a petition, to get Sarbjit back, to bring Sarbjit back. And by being celebrity, that petition had reached me also to sign, and I had.
Yeah.
So when Umang came to me and he just mentioned Sarbjit,
You knew it.
I said, I have to do it.
Yeah.
And then, of course, to discover Dalbir and get to know so much about her and the story, it was an easy yes. Yeah.
In the movie, of course, we see Sarbjit sitting in, like in a very dark space and sitting and thinking. When there are moments in your life when you're just sitting and thinking, what are the thoughts that run in your head? I mean, you're sitting alone and just going through life. Do you do that often?
Well, yeah, if it asks, talking about moments of silence, they don't exist in person or in the head because there's so much going on in life. So I don't know if that's a good thing or not. And that's probably why people talk about how they highly recommend meditation. But today meditation is possibly also my moments with my daughter. Because even that's a full house. There's so much going on in life. But that's what it is, because life can find ways of presenting itself, but you must never sit and complain कि अभी, I'm not getting time out, या इतने busy हैं. Life busy है तो वो भी किसी कारण है, वो भी अच्छा ही है. It's a good thing that time is flying us by. It's a good thing life is so hectic and so busy that you actually can't tell look at the time since we met and we're picking up from where we left off.
Yeah.
And it's a good thing that, time is flying us by and we've got so much going on. We're enriching our lives with so much experience. It's a blessing. Because this has been the nature of my life, I can't imagine having life with not much going on. And in terms of sitting and thinking, there is enough to think about. Karan hi karan hai. So it's not like sit and think and wonder. It's too hectic. It's too hectic.
It's too hectic, and it's amazing that even with all this hectic thing, you take time out for your daughter. I think that's commendable. I mean, I wish I can do that when I have my daughter. I would come to you and ask you, please, batao.
Thanks.
What are the...
You should just want to. Ho jata hai. It's hard work, but when you want to, you work it out. You work it out. Totally.
You work it out. Well, I hope that, Ash, this film is a phenomenal success. I wish I could have spoken to you for longer, but we are time crunched and, I have to end the interview here.
Thank you.
But genuinely, I wish that the film, I have really loving the trailer.
I really think the film should, I wanted to, when you use the word work, it's not like a plug, and you'll have done so many interviews with me before, I've never said this. I want this film to reach a wider audience. If that means it translates to business, well, producers can be happy.
Yeah.
But for me, I really want this film to reach a wider audience because people need to know these stories. They need to experience them, to know, to recognize the human spirit. And it will encourage more and more people to come forth to share their stories. It will encourage filmmakers to want to tell these stories, and that's one of the main reasons for me to do it. I don't have any points to prove whatsoever, but for me it's really about giving encouragement to these stories, and hopefully by doing it, helping these stories find the audience that they should.
True, Ashton, before you go, it just struck me that if there was a movie that was going to be made on your life, on Aishwarya's life, what would be the top 2 chapters or top 2
You can't
things?
put it into 2 hours. आजकल चले 2-2.5 घंटे से ज़्यादा नहीं होगा. Sorry, नहीं होगा. बहुत ज़्यादा कुछ होता आ रहा है. Thank you, Lord. और it's very difficult to put into a time frame like this.
So it'll be
on a lighter note.
It'll be a many part series, which I'm sure it'll be a phenomenal hit again. We'll wait to watch your story. But thank you for bringing alive Sarbjit's story to us, Ash. And I really hope that people actually go out there and watch this phenomenal movie and phenomenal Ash in it. I mean, it's beautiful. Thank you so much, Ash.
God bless. Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yaar Mera Superstar with me, Garima Kumar.